No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
And hello, this is Mike Lodge, the business advisor. And it's the day after Super Bowl. So what did you think? I thought it was a good game. At first I said, you know what, I'm not going to watch this thing. I'm not going to watch it. But then, I was thinking, you know what, if I watched it, I could have pizza. I could have chips and dip. I could have a whole bunch of things that I don't get to eat the rest of the year. So I broke my spirit and I watched the game, but it was a good game. So no complaints here whatsoever. In fact, it was a good game only because I didn't have to choose sides. I liked both teams. So I didn't have anyone to argue with. I didn't have anyone to tease. So I had to tell myself, you know what, Mike, you like both games, both teams, so just enjoy the game. So it was a good game. Rihanna did okay. Now, I didn't realize Rihanna does not get paid for showing up. So I don't know who's paying for all those dancers and everything, but so she doesn't get paid for doing that show. That was a freebie to everybody. And I guess it's been a long-standing tradition that the NFL does not pay for that. So, no money into Rihanna's bank account. Listen, at the beginning of last week, the Internal Revenue Service came out and said, don't file your tax returns if you live in 21 states. Because in those 21 states, some of you got a state stimulus. And the IRS had to determine whether or not if those were taxable under the Internal Revenue Code. So Friday, I saw it Saturday, but Friday I guess the Internal Revenue Service came out and said, okay, no, they're not taxable. But this is my suggestion to you. Talk to your tax practitioner and see whether or not if it is. Because he might have taxed you. So just make sure that was never included as income in your federal tax return, okay? Just make sure. That's just one of the things that we have to look at, right? Now, the other thing, which was amazing, we keep hearing about all these tech companies laying off. Yahoo is laying off 20% of its workers. So tech layoffs keep piling up. Now, and then Meta, or Facebook, it's called Meta now, said that they were not approving their department's budgets at the moment because they are considering more layoffs within Facebook. Now, that's not good news for the tech industry. When you see these big giants, Yahoo and Google and Facebook and Meta, laying off, that's not good because those are high-paying jobs. Those are jobs where people are making $70,000 to over $100,000 a year. Those are high-paying jobs. In the job reports, what you see are low-paying jobs that are being added. So people are taking just side gigs in order to survive. But when you see tech companies laying off, that's a big sign. So what it says, I'm going to open this up so I can read it. It says that Meta delays setting team budgets as Facebook parent plans a fresh round of layoffs, Financial Times reporting. February 11, Facebook parent Meta Platforms Inc., META.O, has delayed finalizing the budgets of multiple teams as it prepares a fresh round of job cuts, the Financial Times reported on Saturday. In recent weeks, there have been a lack of clarity surrounding budgets and future headcounts. And the Financial Times reported citing two Meta employees familiar with the situation. Meta did not immediately respond to the Reuters request for a comment outside of normal business hours. Maybe they'll respond today, so we'll have to see exactly what they say, what they're going to do. But that's what happens when people are when companies, I should say, are sitting and preparing their budgets for the fiscal or calendar year. The biggest part of that budget is headcount. And it's the biggest part, as I've said to you before, so you're probably tired of hearing it, but you have to understand that salaries and wages are the biggest expense on any financial statement. And so that is what they begin to look at when they prepare their budgets. Should we add or should we subtract? What are our needs and what are our financial conditions at the moment that will make that determination? So that's what a lot of these companies have done and are doing, is that they are reviewing their budgets, their team budgets, their departmental budgets, and saying, okay, listen, the financial condition of the United States is not sound at the moment, so we need to cut back. And the revenue that we are bringing in is being outpaced by inflationary spending, inflationary costs. And that creates a burden on the company, especially when they've got stockholders that are expecting to make money off of their investment in that company. So we're seeing a lot of these companies starting to make these layoff decisions, and we're going to see more, and there's going to be more. Meta's probably going to lay off more people. A lot of these companies that are high-tech companies are probably going to start saying, okay, listen, we can't keep up with the inflation of running this company. We just can't do it anymore. It's a tough situation. Listen, I have been in those situations where I have had to sit down with clients to go through their budgets and make some tough decisions on what to do with certain aspects of their company. Do we get rid of it? Do we sell it off? Do we cut it out completely? Because at some point in time, if you've got a project that is draining cash flow from other sectors of your business, you've got to, sooner or later, you've got to make that decision. Listen, I cannot support this part of my company anymore. I've got to shut it down, or I've got to cut back on it. So this is what happens within all these companies as we begin looking at their budgets. I remember I used to prepare these budgets, and I used to prepare them on an international level. And we would take a look at every country that we were in, that we had an office in, and say, okay, do we keep that office open or not? Or should we lay them off? Is it driving enough revenue to come in to support the ongoing business? So you have to make those decisions, and it's tough. I tell you, it is a tough thing to do. But to keep the company surviving and moving forward, you have to make those tough choices. It's not easy, but you have to go through the thought process of the individuals involved, the product that you're trying to keep going or create. And at some point in time, you have to be honest with yourself. Is this project worth it? Are we making any money out of it? Or will we make any money out of it? So Meta is derived with a whole bunch of teams, right? Teams of technology, teams of advancement, and it goes on, all kinds of different teams. And there may be some teams in there that is just not worth the time to keep going any longer, because you don't see a financial benefit within this recessionary time. Because this recessionary time that we're getting hit with high inflationary costs, especially in the labor markets, we have to be very cautious now on how we run these businesses. It's a big world out there in the world of business, and every CEO is trying to make good decisions for the company and for the shareholders. Remember, there's a lot of millions of people who have put money into these companies to make a dollar, to have an investment return. So the CEO has to answer to their needs and has to do the best that he can so that he can run that company so soundly that the stockholders are happy with the dividends being received. My goodness, it's a different world out there now, right? And individuals... Oh, I wanted to talk about one other thing. The CEO of Goldman Sachs, his name is David Solomon. He told his partners he regrets not firing employees sooner after laying off 3,200 employees last month. He wished he would have made that decision sooner so it would not have drained so much cash out of the company. Listen, the banks have not done well. Goldman Sachs is a bank, and it has not done well. People are not putting their money into the bank and keeping it there. It goes in and then goes out. So cash flow and the amount of cash that's usable for other investments has dwindled. It's gone down. So you have to look, as a CEO, you've got to look at this. Now, I suggested way back in 2022, about October of 2022, I started to tell CEOs, you need to start looking at your headcount. Look at the individuals who are driving your business and look at the people who are draining your business. Get rid of the drain. And a lot of these companies should have done it when I said it, because they would have been 3 months, 4 months ahead of this recession. So Goldman Sachs, David Solomon, made a statement. It was in the news, and I'll listen. Everything that I've talked about today, it's listed down below. Okay, you can link. There are links there for you to read the articles. But we have a problem in business at the moment. Listen, the economy is not about Wall Street. The economy is not about jobs. The economy is about how well the American people are doing right now. How well are businesses doing right now? And they're not doing well. I'm not doing well. You're not doing well. You have added dollars that have been taken away from you because of inflation, because everything has been driven up. And we don't see that this inflationary time will end anytime soon. We wish it would, but it doesn't seem like it is. No matter what Biden tells you, he's a downright liar when it comes to the economy, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And he has Janet Yellen there that needs to resign because she doesn't know what she's doing. So we have no leadership when it comes to economical things happening in the government or in the nation itself. Listen, if you'd like to have more access to me, you can go to www.lodge-co.com. If you have a business question, send it to me at thebusinessadvisor@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support my podcast and all of the blogs that I put out there, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. And all my podcasts are there, all my vlogs are there that I write and copy and everything. We talk about business here, and we talk about how it's going to affect us every single day. And all these things that are happening out there affect our lives. Everything that the government does, every time they spend money and they waste it, it affects our lives. This is Mike Lodge. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.